بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Math grade 7. We are in module 7, lesson 1. Today we want to learn solve one-step addition and subtraction inequalities and subtraction inequalities. Hi. So in this lesson we want to use inverse operations to solve one-step addition and subtraction inequalities. And I don't write anything, I will send to you the PowerPoint. Just I want from you to focus with me. As you remember from the previous lesson, we talked about the equations. Like x plus 1 equal 5. When you see equal between two sides, means you have equation. Means we have equation. And we solve this idea. We remove the constant, subtract 1 from the two sides. 1 plus 1 minus 1 will be 0. X equal 5 minus 1 will be 4. And for example, 2x plus 3, for example, equals 7. Also, this is what? This is the equation. Because here we have equals between two sides. And we solved this problem. We remove the constant, subtract the inverse of 3 will be negative 3 from the two sides. Plus 3 and minus 3, 0. So it remains here 2x. And here 7 minus 3 will be 4. And the second step, remove the coefficient from here. What is the coefficient here? The coefficient means the number multiplied by the variable. So remove 2 from here. How? You can divide the two sides by 2. So 2 divided by 2 will be 1x, means x equal 4. 4 divided by 2 will be 2. What is the name of x equal to? The solution. The solution of the equation. The solution of the equation. This is the meaning of the equation. When we have equal between two sides, means the name here will be what? Equation. But our lesson today is equality. What is the meaning of equality? The same equation, but we have the sign will be greater than or less than. Greater than or less than. So for example, this is equation, this is equality. This is equation here. And here this is inequality. This is the difference between them, the sign. When you see equal means you have equation. When you see greater than or less than means you have what? Equality. We have equality. For example, x greater than or equal 5. Y less than or equal minus 1. When you see this signs, means you have what? We have equality. Means we have equality. So in this lesson, we want to use the inverse operation to solve one-step addition and subtraction inequalities. So what's the meaning of inequalities? What's the meaning of inequalities? An inequality is a mathematical sentence that compares quantities. Inequalities contain the symbol less than, greater than, less than or equal, or greater than or equal. The table shows the meaning of each inequality symbol. So this symbol means is less than, for example, 4 less than 8, the name of this form inequality. And this symbol is greater than, for example, 3 greater than negative 2. This is also equality. And here this symbol means is less than or equal. Here we have two signs. So this is less than or equal. For example, negative 6 less than or equal 1. Or 5 less than or equal 5.
And the last symbol here is greater than or equal to. For example, 9 greater than or equal 6. This is inequality. Or -7 greater than or equal -7. Also, this is inequality. Okay? The second idea in this lesson, graph inequalities. Follow the steps to graph the inequality x less than 3.5. Step 1, place the endpoint as an open dot for an inequality that contain less than or greater than symbol. An open dot is used to show that the number is not a solution. The number is not a solution. Then draw a row that points to the left to show that numbers less than 3.5 are a part of the solution. And as you see, draw the number line, then represent 3.5 in the number line. Where is 3.5? Between 3 and 4 in the middle. Then when you have less than or greater than without equal, draw open circle. Draw open circle. Then x less than, what the meaning less than means the value before 3.5 means the direction will be to the negative. The direction will be to the negative.
السلام عليكم مستر.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. If we have x greater than or equal -1, you can draw the number line that represent -1. Where is -1? This is here. As you see here, we have greater than or equal. When you have equal in the sign, draw solid circle or closed circle. Then the values of x greater than -1 means up -1. Up -1 means from -1 to the positive side. From -1 to the positive side.
And when you have x greater than 1, how to graph this equality? The first step, draw number line. This is the 0. They represent 1. Represent 1. This is 1 here. And when you have just greater than or less than without equal, draw open circle. Draw open circle. Means the sign doesn't have equal. The sign doesn't have equal. Then what the meaning of x greater than means the values up 1. The values of x up 1. This is 1. Up 1 means where? To the positive side. This is positive. This is negative. The direction will be where? To the positive side. This is the graph of the inequality. This is the graph of the inequality. And if I have y less than 2, for example, the first step, draw the number line, then represent 2 in the number line. This is here 0. This is 1. This is 2. We don't have in the sign equal. Means draw open circle. Draw open circle. Then y less than. What the meaning of less than? Means the values of y before 2. Before 2. So this is 2. Before 2 means where? To the negative side. To the negative side. Suppose we have z greater than or equal 3. How to graph this inequality? Draw number line. Then represent 3 in the number line. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Then when you have equal in the sign, draw solid circle or closed circle. This is the difference between the two cases here. When you don't have equal, draw open circle. When you have equal, draw what? Solid circle or closed circle. Okay. So what is the direction? Z greater than. Greater than 3 means to the positive side. to the positive side. Suppose we have n less than or equal -2. So draw the number line. Here we have 0. Where is -2? This is -1 and this is -2. And we have in the sign, we have equal. When you have equal means draw solid circle. And what is the direction here? N less than -2 means before -2. Means from -2 to where? To the negative side. Okay? This is the 4 cases to graph any inequality. Do you have any question here?
The third idea, subtraction and addition properties of inequality. Solving an inequality means finding values for the variable that make the inequality true. You can solve addition inequalities by using the subtraction property of inequality. You can solve subtraction inequalities by using the addition property of inequality. Listen here. When you add or subtract the same number from each side of an equality, the inequality remains true. For all numbers a, b, and c, suppose we have this inequality if a greater than b. If a greater than b, so we can subtract the same number from the two sides. Take c, then a minus c in the first side, and b minus c in the second side. So is it a minus c greater than b minus c? Yes. And if you add the same number, you get the same idea. No change in the sign. No change in the sign. Means remains true. And when you have this inequality a less than b, if you subtract the same number, if you add the same number to the two sides, you get a true inequality. For example, suppose you have 2 less than 5. So if you subtract the same number from the two sides, 2 minus 4 here and 5 minus 4 here. So 2 minus 4, as you see, will be -2, and 5 minus 4 will be 1. -2 less than 1. This is true. The same sign as you see. And if you have this example, 4 greater than -1, if you add the same numbers from the two sides, so 4 plus 3 will be 7, and -1 plus 3 will be 2. So 7 greater than 2. 7 greater than 2. So these properties are also true for a greater than or equal b, and b a less than or equal b. For example, solve and graph addition inequalities. Solve x plus 3 greater than 10, then check your solution, then graph the solution set on a number line. The first step, we want to solve the inequality. Rewrite the same inequality, x plus 3 greater than 10. Then we want to remove the constant from this side to keep the variable alone. So you can add the inverse of 3 will be -3 to the two sides. So add -3 here and -3 here. Plus 3 and minus 3 will be 0. Remains here x greater than 10 minus 3 will be 7. So the inequality here will be x greater than 7. So the solution of the inequality x plus 3 greater than 10 is x greater than 7. You can check the solution x greater than 7 by substituting a number greater than 7 into the original inequality. Try, for example, 8. If you write here x, the value of x will be 8. Is it 8 plus 3 greater than 10? 8 plus 3 will be 11. Yes, 11 greater than 10. So this is a true solution. This is true solution. And the difference between equation and inequality, the equation from the first degree just have one solution. X equal 5, x equal 8, x equal -1, x equal 0. x equals 0.5, x equal 1/3. But in equality, we have many solutions. We have many solutions. So means x greater than 7 means you have 8, 9, 10, 11, etc. to the infinity. If you choose any number greater than 7, will be solution to this inequality. Okay? Okay, Eliazia? Then when you want to graph, you can draw the number line, then represent 7 in the number line. And as you see here, we don't have sign, we don't have equal in the sign, means draw open circle. Then x greater than 7 means the direction where to Yamosa, the direction where to the positive side. The direction greater than 7 means up 7. The values of x will be up 7 means to the positive side. And for example here, we have this equation, solve, we have this inequality. Solve 6 plus h less than or equal -9. At the first, we want to remove the constant to keep the variable alone in the same side. What is the constant here? -6. How to remove the constant? Add the inverse. What is the inverse of -6? +6. So +6 here, +6 here. -6 plus 6 will be 0, remains here h less than or equal. -9 plus 6 will be -3. This is the solution of this inequality. The values of h less than or equal -3 means start from -3, then go down to the negative side, to the negative infinity. When you want to graph this inequality, draw the number line, then I think I have here wrong. Just wait. I wrote here minus. The inequality will be here. +6. So the inverse will be -6. The inverse will be -6. +6 and -6, 0. -9 plus -6 will be -15. So when you want to draw the number line, represent -15 in the number line. Then as you see here in the sign, we have equal. When you have equal in the sign means draw solved circle. Then the values of h less than -15 means from -15 and before -15 means the direction where to the negative side, to the negative infinity. Okay? Okay, Noura? And when we have this example, 0.4 plus y less than equal -9.6, what is the name of this form? You can tell me what is the name of this form? Inequality. So to solve this inequality, we want to remove the constant. How to remove the constant? Add the inverse. What is the inverse of 0.4? -0.4. The inverse of 0.4 will be what? -0.4. So we can add here -0.4 and here -0.4. So 0.4 minus 0.4, 0. It remains here y. This is the sign here less than or equal. And -9.6. -9.6 and -0.4 will be what? Will be -10. Will be -10. So y less than or equal -10. This is the solution. This is the solution of this inequality. If you want to check if this solution true or not, go back to the same inequality Then substitute the value of y equal negative 10. Write here negative 10. Is it 0.4 plus negative 10, is it less than or equal negative 9.6? 0.4 plus negative 10 will be negative 9.6. Yes, negative 9.6 will be equal negative 9.6. So this is correct. Means this is true solution. And when you want to graph, you can draw the number line, then represent negative 10 in the number line. This is negative 10. Then as you see in the sign here, you have equal, means draw solid circle. Then the value of y less than before negative 10, means to the negative side, from negative 10 to the negative side or to the negative infinity. Okay? Here, we have this inequality, x plus 1 over 3 less than 5.4. So at the first, try to remove the constant from the same side of the variable to keep the variable alone on this side. This is the constant. How to remove this constant? Add the inverse. What is the inverse of 1.3? Negative 1.3. So negative 1.3 here and negative 1.3 here. Plus 1.3 and negative 1.3 will be 0. Great. Remains x less than 5.4 minus 1.3. 5.4 minus 1.3. 4 minus 3, 1. And 5 minus 1, 4. So the answer will be 4.1. This is the solution of this inequality. When you want to graph, you can draw the number line, then represent here 4.1 in the number line. As you see here, we don't have equal in the sign, means draw open circle. Then you have the value of x less than 4.1, means from 4.1 and before 4.1, means the direction where to the negative side, the direction to the negative side. Okay?
What's the meaning of an open circle?
Open circle يعني دائرة مفتوحة، تكون من الداخل مفتوحة. solid circle يعني نكون منظللة، دائرة مظللة. هلا إذا كانت الساين هي greater than أو less than بنرسم دائرة مفتوحة. معناتها إنه هي القيمة غير داخلة. غلط طبعا، بدنا نلتزم بالتعليمات. يعني أنا لما أقول أنا x greater than 1 يعني قيم x شو لازم تكون؟ أكبر من الواحد، يعني الواحد ما له داخله. قيم x شو عم أقول؟ أكبر من واحد. يعني تبدأ من 2 3 4 5 إلى آخره، تمام؟ بس قيم ال1 شو بتكون؟ ما له داخله. معناتها بهالحالة أنا هون عندي ال1 وقت بيجي على النمبر لاين بحدد ال1، عند ال1 شو برسم هون؟ دائرة مفتوحة. شو معنى الدائرة مفتوحة؟ يعني ال1 قيم ال1 ما لها داخله، القيم اللي بدها تكون شو أكبر من 1. ما هيك مو عم تقول لي هون الانكواليتي اكس أكبر من 1؟ إذا معناتها باخذ القيم الأكبر من 1، معناتها بحدد الاتجاه لوين؟ للبوزيتيف، تمام؟ أما لو في حال قال لي مثلا x less than or equal to مثلا، وقت بنلاقي equal بالساين دائما معناتها برسم دائرة مغلقة أو solid circle أو shaded circle، دائرة مظللة. شو معناتها هي؟ معناتها إنه القيم تدخل، معناتها إنه القيم تدخل في حلول الانكواليتي. فأنا إذا حددت أنا 2 مثلا يا اليازيا، إذا حددت 2 على النمبر لاين، لأنه في عندي ايكوال لازم أرسم دائرة مغلقة. إذا رسمت دائرة مفتوحة غلط، لازم أرسم دائرة مغلقة. شو معنات الدائرة المغلقة؟ إنه الاثنين داخلة في حلول الانكواليتي. طيب وعندي هون الاكس less than، شو يعني less than؟ يعني القيم التي تسبق، القيم الأقل. القيم الأقل من التو يا اليازي، معناتها لوين الاتجاه؟ النيجاتيف. واضح شو معنى الفرق بين الأوبن سيركل والسولد سيركل؟ تمام؟ طيب. Solve and graph subtraction inequalities. Negative 6 greater than or equal n minus 5. Try to remove the constant. So you can add the inverse of negative 5 will be positive 5. Add positive 5 here and positive 5 here. Negative 5 plus 5 will be 0, remains here n. And negative 6 plus 5 will be negative 1. Then you can check, go back to the same inequality, put the value of n negative 1. Or any value less than negative 1. For example, you can choose negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Any value less than 1, equal or less than, because here we have equal or less than. For example, choose negative 3. Is it negative 3, negative 5? Is it less than or equal negative 6? The negative 3, negative 5 will be negative 8. Yes, negative 8, less than or equal negative 6. So this is a true equation. This is true inequalities. So it means this is a true solutions. When you want to graph, you can draw the number line. Represent here negative 1. Then as you see in the sign, we have equal. So draw shaded circle or solid circle or closed circle. Then n less than means the value of n before negative 1. From negative 1 and before negative 1. Before negative 1, the direction will be where? To the negative side. Is it okay? And here we have the same idea. This is our lesson for today. Who has any question? Who has any question about the inequalities? I have a question for you. Open your notebook. X plus 5 greater than 6. I want to from all to solve this inequality, then graph.
Mr. I'm Ali, I solved it.
Yes, Alia, tell me what is your answer?
It's x less than 1.
Then Alia, try to graph it, please. Thank you, Alia.
No, Mr. The opposite side. Greater than, sorry.
لا عملتي هون minus 5 كمان نعمل هون minus 5. 6 minus 5 شو بصير؟ 1.
أيوة صح.
And yes, Moza. X greater 1. هلا Moza said X greater 1. And Alia, this is Moza and this is Alia. And Alia said X less than 1. Try to graph it, please. ارسموها. ده بناخذ المعاكس، البلس شو المعاكس له؟ الماينس. انت عندك بلس 5، ناخذ الانفيرس. شو يعني الانفيرس؟ المعاكس. شو المعاكس للبلس 5؟ ماينس 5. بنعمله للطرفين. تمام؟ الحل صح. الرسم شو الدائرة؟ مغلقة مفتوحة؟ تمام. إذا عند ال1 اعملي دائرة مفتوحة واعملي الاتجاه للبوزيتيف سايد. تمام؟ ممتازة يا معرض. تمام؟ نعم. تمام. بس ليش غيرتي الإشارة؟ الإشارة بهذا الاتجاه، ليش حطيتيها بهذا الاتجاه؟ تمام؟ x less than 1 مثل جواب عليا يعني. تمام. So Shamsa said the same answer of Alia. And Mohra said the same answer of Moza. And Noura Dafir said the same answer of Moza. Who else? Listen to me to check together, please. Always remember, when you want to solve the inequality, must to remove the constant from the same side of the variable to keep the variable alone in the same side. How to remove the constant? Add the inverse. What is the inverse of plus 5? Minus 5. So add minus 5 to the two sides.
So I know this.
Yes?
X.
Yes?
And like
Less than or greater than?
less than
X less than? Yes?
1.
What is your name?
Rhoda.
Okay, Rauda said the same answer of Shamsa and Alia. Thank you, Rauda. Continue with me. Plus 5 and minus 5 will be 0. Remains here in the same side, in the first side, x. And here, keep the same sign. Here you have greater than, write greater than. Okay? Then 6 minus 5, 1. So the answer will be x greater than 1. X greater than 1. Then when you want to graph this inequality, this is here in the middle 0, represent 1, this is 1. And as you see in the sign, we don't have equal. If you don't have equal means draw open circle. Then the direction x greater than 1 means the values of x up 1 means to the positive side. To the positive side. Okay? تمام شمسة؟ اليازية؟ تمام؟ شيخة؟ في حدا له سؤال؟ Do you have any question about this idea? عليا، روضة، صبايا الاونلاين، في حدا له اي سؤال؟
لا مستعد.
تمام. هلا رح برسلكم انا الباوربوينت تدرسوه بالبيت والحصه مسجله. رح ارسلكم براكتس تحلوها اليوم لانه بكره بدنا نحلها سوا. زين؟ البراكتس رح ارسلها اليوم تحلوها انتم بالبيت لانه بكره رح نشتغل فيها ان شاء الله. So thank you for your listening. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow إن شاء الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.